As I was saying, Creative is a streamer and a hamster mom. It's just good to have her on. So welcome. So I've been watching you because you're very like authentic, very chilled, very nice streams. You do fundraisers and things, and it's just like good vibes. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe you'll come chat with us. So, welcome. So how long have you been like actually streaming for? Because it's like it's just good stuff.
I think it's been like 2 years. I think my friend, who's a streamer too, said that whilst we're in lockdown, why don't you do some streaming? You might meet some new friends, and you can talk about what you like, your hobbies and all that. I thought, okay, I'll try it, and then
jump into it.
Yeah,
cool.
Jump into it. Make a few mistakes.
It's been good.
Anyway.
It's awesome. And so okay, so you got into it, just because you're like, we'll see what's good. That's neat. And I was just saying earlier, one of the things that I thought was really cool is that from time to time you do little like fundraiser stuff. I thought was really neat. I know you sometimes you cut your hair, and that's been for fundraisers for epilepsy, right?
Yeah. Fundraisers for epilepsy is my main thing, especially in lockdown. The charities have really needed to be more kind of funded, and so I thought, okay, I'll use my platform. But also, like, it's been especially kind of lonely for people who've got epilepsy because, being lonely and stress causes seizures, and it has been pretty terrible it would be pretty terrible for most of us. So, yeah. It's just
totally. Like if the organizations weren't out there to help, right?
Yeah, but like just having like someone like my support group has been meeting up over Zoom and now on Teams for the past 3 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Just finding to get back to usual and meet up in person, hopefully.
So important. I have a friend who has it, who years ago was looking into getting some surgeries, and it was so intense. And obviously people, don't really always know what's involved in everything, So it's like so good and so important to have groups. And also it's one of those things for as common as it is, and as long as like humans have been dealing with it, like there's like only so much that science even still knows about it in some ways. So it's like, totally, it could use more funding.
It's especially because, epilepsy is basically most of, like, all of it is involving your brain. So you can't necessarily say, okay, we'll take out this bit, but we know that it's all over. So you can't necessarily take it, like, and especially like surgery is for the so severe and severe of epilepsy. Unless you've been through all the medication, and also, it depends on the circumstances as well, especially with atonic epilepsy. So atonic seizures are basically when all of the muscles relax at once. We always talk about people who wear kind of like head braces because they just stop down and they would have like, something ridiculous, like 60 seizures per day. I mean,
oh my God, right?
That's just exhausting, or over that. So of course, those kind of cases, we need, kind of a surgery for that. But of course, every person with epilepsy is individual, so it's not
all different, because every brain's different.
So like, all the support group members that I'm part of, we all have different cases and different kind of seizures and epilepsies and triggers and all of that. So yeah, I mean, but like, of course, I've got there's like a few children that I look after at work that have epilepsy too. So I kind of relate to a particular point. But it's always, whenever I do something like raising money or whatever, I know that it's going to, a good cause, and I can have peace of mind that I'm making kind of like a difference.
Totally,
but,
and as difficult as that all is, in a nice way, like, it makes your stream sort of upbeat because you're so frequently like, hey, we're going to raise money for this, we're going to raise money for that. Yeah. You're like, I'm going to cut my hair and we're going to take donations to be, towards that. And it's just like, so it gives like really good vibes because like you're watching someone on Twitch, but also like periodically it's just like nice like fundraising stuff. So cool.
Yeah. But like, I think it's just, like, I can do only so much, but I think society in general needs to realize, look, we've got 50 million people across worldwide that have epilepsy. Only 5 million are diagnosed. So,
wow.
And that's depending on circumstances and countries and all of that. I think society needs to realize that this is very, very, it's not just a small group. It is like worldwide. We need to recognize that we're talking about workplaces. We're talking about like services such as the police. We need to, family. It's not just affect us. It affects families. It affects partners. It affects the friends. It affects everyone. So the sooner the public and our work and everyone realizes and learns about what to do in a situation when someone has a procedure or something funny happens, then the quicker that us as a society need to change our thinking and not just think, they're drunk, but we might not be drunk, we might just have epilepsy.
So is that is that a thing where like something could be happening where like you kind of seem like you're a little out of it, but it's actually not like you're saying? So like is that what happens like sometimes for some people? Like they might seem like they're a little drunk, but they're not.
Yes, some of my support group members have had instances with the police, and the police police thought that they were drunk, but obviously they were having a seizure. And
that's wild. I would have never thought of that, but that makes sense. Even though I would, what I mean? Like, yeah.
Because it obviously it's kind of similar, but you obviously they should really check like in their purses or wherever before they just jump to conclusions and say, oh, this person's drunk. It's just.
And speaking of how common it is, Ripper, who's been hanging with us today and hanging over in chat, he just mentioned that also he has a friend who was triggered in a theater, and it's like, it's just such a common thing. So, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so common. So it's great that you raise money for it and are involved in the awareness because it clearly needs more and more assistance and towards the effort of, both education and research and study and finding ways to, Yeah, so it's great that you do all that. It's awesome. Now,
all we want is we want empathy.
Yeah, totally.
as people.
Yeah.
And like children who have epilepsy find it very, very difficult to just catch up on education in general. And I think we as a group of humans realize and to help them, then we can all be a bit more nicer.
1,000%.
Considering the history of epilepsy, we come up a bit a long way, but there's still a stigma attached to it.
Which again is wild because it's been around for so long and so people have it. It's like so common, and yet still. So Architect just jumped in. Hey Architect man, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in and hanging with us today. I appreciate it. We're talking with Creative Queen a little bit, who's also a streamer. Architect streams too. He's a musician. He plays some cool games too on stream. Super good dude. So he says that he's a friend of his passed out at a concert. And no one even realized that it was like a big thing at first. They didn't take it seriously. So yeah, because people aren't aware. Totally. And that's how they discovered she has epilepsy, he says. So yeah, such a common thing.
That's an awful situation.
Totally. So hopefully, what you're doing, all the efforts that you make are contributing to things being better going forward, hopefully, and more research and more figured out. Yeah. So yeah, good to talk about, and thanks for coming on to talk about that some. So 1000%. So there are some other things that you do on stream also, in addition to discussing epilepsy and stuff. And one of them that I can't wait to talk to you about, because I'm like, this is so cool, is your hamster mom. You got a little hamster. What's your hamster's?
I have mama.
Yeah, what's your hamster's name?
Buffy.
Buffy? So cool. Do you mind if it's cool if we show a little picture?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Awesome. I'm excited. Check this out. Alright, friends. Check this out. Here is Buffy the hamster.
Yeah.
Friend of the stream, Buffy.
Yeah.
So cute. Hey, I'm Matt, streaming to you, as always, from Brooklyn.